Greetings to the jury members, viewers, and voters in the acceleration stage of GameJamPlus. This is Peacekeeper, the presenter of the Arabian Gladius team, and I'm gonna take you on an introductory journey into our historical game. We have chosen our novel, How Do I Return from Rome, to be the author of the story. It presents the tale of Rimas, the girl from the 21st century who fell into a mysterious deep hole, taking her to the era of the 3rd century and during the region of the Emperor Gallienus Augustus, the ruler of the Roman Empire. And she didn't know how to return back home, as she lived that life with all its details, cultures, and environments, especially when she became the Empress of Rome. Why our game is unique? The game mentions a period of time that has not been discussed in many games, despite the popularity reached by ancient Roman civilization, as well as the life of Mecca before Islam and its lifestyle. The novel specified a particular period of time and mentioned real characters from that historical era, as it summarized the lives of some characters, in addition to real historical events that will play as a strong factor to attract interested players. What are the features of our game, and how do you want it to look like? Dialogues are the core of the game, in which the player will choose among different options presented to him to be a part of upcoming events and crucial decisions. Our heroine Rimas is the playable character, along with some other characters who will be playable depending on the events till the end of the game. The game will contain a QuickTime event method to interact with the game. The possibility of moving in open-world maps, including homes and cities, as we will reconstruct the main 3 cities, Rome, Mecca, and Germania, with the ability to talk with different NPCs and complete side missions for them. As we are in ancient times, fighting in wars and controlling characters during battles will be presented in our game, with more than 3 battles, including a war between naval ships. The player can ride horses, drive wagons, use bows, swords, and daggers during wars and some events. The game will have 2 endings, based on players' choices, with the ability to play again to unlock events that were not selected before. The novel How Do I Return from Rome has 3 fantasy books that present the story of our heroine Rimas, which means a long story to tell. Just like those great games that came to life based on novels like The Witcher, Metro, BioShock, and others. As for game sustainability, we will focus on having attractive game marketing, as trailers and gameplays on platforms' gaming events, their own sites, and our future game accounts on social medias, with future packages of characters' new outfits and future DLCs to play the story of the characters who were present in the original game. As for our game build, we want to start by saying our dream is big. Therefore, we are planning to build our game as an AA game, and like other historical games, like A Plague Tale, Prince of Persia, and Assassin's Creed. But the game Rise Son of Rome is more similar to our game in terms of its historical period and combat style. We have chosen Rise Son of Rome and Plague Tale Innocence to have our comparison with in terms of cost production, how long did it take in development, selling units of first years, average playtime, game genre, game price, if it is historically accurate or not, and the use of motion capture, which will be needed in our game. Our game budget will be divided into 3 categories: 60% for game development, 30% for game marketing that we mentioned before, and 10% as other expenses like equipment and such. The roadmap of our game will start by making a proper study for different aspects, including its financial needs. The game could require 2 years of development. By the second half of the final year, game testing will be held for any additional improvements, and then deliver it to the market for the final release. The best genres for the game are narrative, action, and adventure, in order to connect the player with the surrounding environment, enjoy the events, and game story. The targeted groups are console and PC players, those who are interested in ancient civilizations, and the players above 16. The game will need for many improvements, efforts, financial studies, and various experiences. Hence, and as we are an unofficial team of beginners with a big dream, we hope to get a proper support from the investors, as well as an approval from a game publisher and development studio with the aim of adopting the idea and make the dream come true. This was the summary of our game. How do I return from Rome? And thank you for watching.